As I continued my inquiry, one revelation followed another, and I made these 4 important discoveries. 1. Setbacks can be a secret weapon. We're naturally drawn to tales of success. Nobody celebrates failure, and many people try to disguise their flops. Yet, setbacks can be the most powerful and formative events we ever experience, as long as we regard them as learning opportunities, not as defeat. When I began to study successful people and ask them to tell me their stories, it became clear that the pivotal events in their lives weren't the breakthrough moments when everything finally fell into place, but the quit points that usually came much earlier, when success was in doubt, support was scarce, and it wasn't at all clear what to do. Many people give up when they hit such quit points, and you never hear their stories because they don't accomplish much. For those who persist, however, those low moments of fear and failure often constitute a crucible that makes them more capable once they've endured it. Over the last 50 years or so, a whole body of scientific research has shown that overcoming setbacks can make people stronger, smarter, and more durable. Psychologists call this quality resilience. The message, however, hasn't quite penetrated mainstream thinking. It's time it did. 2. Small adversities matter, just like big ones. Like a lot of people, I downplayed my own struggles because they didn't seem Oprah-worthy. When whole families are debilitated by poverty and parents are losing their children to disease or violence, it feels petty to gripe about an undersized apartment or a flatlining career. But many non-traumatic events count as legitimate adversities. Job or relationship stress, money woes, a nagging illness, midlife frustration, loneliness, betrayal by a friend, getting robbed, even crabby kids, or getting stuck in traffic. Small setbacks aren't an excuse for shirking responsibility or blaming somebody else, which is the way people with a sense of entitlement often react to them. What they are is an opportunity. Small challenges are the building blocks of resilience, helping us develop a kind of stress inoculation if we react to them effectively. That's how we develop the vital skills that will help us cope with bigger setbacks in the future. As a parent, I felt a light bulb blink on as I discovered how important it is for kids to face small and safe hardships that help them learn they can solve problems on their own and get better at doing difficult things. Like many parents, it makes me uncomfortable if my kids are uncomfortable. But it would be worse if I solved every problem for them, which, unfortunately, is what many parents do in the name of protecting their kids. The most capable people are those who believe their own actions can lead to a better future. You can get that way through practice, by using your own resources to solve problems or make a bad situation better. Like learning math or getting the hang of a bicycle, it's less intimidating if you start small and work your way up to bigger challenges. 3. We're addicted to alluring shortcuts and incomplete slogans. Everybody wants to believe that success is easy, and there's no shortage of people telling us it's so. But it's not really true that you can do anything you set your mind to, or cut your work week to a mere 4 hours just by reading a book, or get great abs with a few painless exercises. Here's the slogan that misled me. Do something you love, and success will follow. I did, in fact, love my work as a journalist. Yet, I was stuck in a mid-career rut with declining opportunities and a growing sense of gloom. I finally figured out that there were a few corollaries to that slogan that must not have fit on the bumper sticker. Doing something you love often requires sacrifices, for one thing, since the odds are that other people love it too, and there's a lot of competition for work. Just loving what you do probably isn't enough either. you also have to be good at it, often really good. And if you love to do something that nobody's willing to pay for, then don't expect to make a living at it. Consider it a hobby instead. 4. Optimism is overrated. Sure, it's important to keep a positive attitude when things don't go your way, but for some people, optimism is the same as denial. If you believe that things will work out automatically, simply because they should, you might be ignoring problems that will undermine what you're trying to accomplish. You might even take foolish risks because you overestimate your own abilities. Optimism overlaps with overconfidence, and in modern times this has brought about the dot-com debacle, which caused a stock market crash, the second Iraq War, which was nowhere near the cakewalk some experts thought it would be, and a devastating housing bust built on the false premise that home values would never, ever decline. Successful people who have weathered a few storms rarely believe things will simply work out. They're more apt to practice defensive pessimism, imagining worst-case scenarios, so they're prepared when things go wrong. They do, however, tend to have a powerful faith in their own problem-solving abilities and the knowledge, gained through experience, that hard work and adaptation bring success. In my own case, I had assumed that my career would flourish and my standard of living would recover after I got divorced and moved, without a specific plan for how to make that happen. That left me feeling pretty disappointed when it didn't happen. As a reflex, I learned to be defensively pessimistic, anticipating what could go wrong. A few friends felt I became too dour, always planning for the worst possible outcome. But it made me feel better, because the worst outcome almost never happened, and that in itself felt like success.